Hello.
I'm Dawn.
I'm Gareth.
And we are
The Disney GrownUps.
I don't know why he's talking in that voice. So, we are continuing our Disneyland Paris restaurant review series for you, and today we are taking you on a trip to the Plaza Gardens. Plaza Gardens is an all-you-can-eat buffet. It is at the end of Main Street on the right-hand side. I hope Gary's not going to start doing this right and left thing again, but as you get to the end, it's on the right-hand side. It's just before you, it's around the main hub area, and it's just before you get into Discoveryland. It is very much based on the Crystal Palace at Walt Disney World, Magic Kingdom, if you've been there. Very much similar decor and everything, but it is not, the main meal is not a character meal, which obviously in Magic Kingdom it is, because we've done lunch, dinner and breakfast in that one, and it's always been character. So we will start again with, obviously, as I say, this is our opinions, what we feel. And just to give you a bit of an insight into what it's like there. I know at the moment they are doing a bit like we've said before with the other buffet restaurants. They're doing some kind of limited menu, and it's brought to your table, a bit like the Garden Grill in Epcot. Again, I do believe it will change back eventually, but under the new sort of COVID situation, they are doing the best they can. It is open, and they are doing a table service buffet. You can ask for more, but obviously the actual list of what they're giving you is more limited. But this restaurant review is to give you an idea of what's normally there, what it's normally like, and hopefully going forward, if you all decide to try Disneyland Paris, if you've never been there before, then this will give you an idea of what's normally on offer there for you to make your decisions on. So it is, as I say, an all-you-can-eat buffet. So we'll start with theming and setting. Now, as we've said, theming and setting, it is set out a bit like the Crystal Palace. It's an old Victorian Crystal Palace.
Oh, yeah.
It's
pretty much identical, really.
Yeah, it's very pretty in there. Very sort of Victorian. They have a conservatory area, which we recommend you don't sit on in
summer.
Sit in on. Oh, I can't even get my words out today.
Don't sit in there when it's hot.
No, we made the mistake once. We wanted to watch the parade, and we had timed our meal just right, and we asked if we could sit in the conservatory, and the young lady said yes, that's not a problem.
Have a window seat.
Have a window seat. We wondered why it was really empty in there, and she was a bit kind of like, yeah, if you really want to sit in there. It was so hot that we couldn't eat properly. It was so hot. We did get to see the parade, but it was so hot.
Yeah, excellent view of the parade, but we virtually burnt to death in there.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, it is set out, as I say, very much like Crystal Palace, very pretty, very ornate. One criticism of the setting is there is only one toilet. Well, there's two actually in the ladies, I think, and one in the men's, wasn't it? But
yeah,
it's a big restaurant, and it seats an awful lot of people, so there is always a queue at the toilets. It doesn't matter when we have been there, what season, what time of day, there is always a queue, because there is so many people to the ratio of toilets. So quick tip, go before you go in there, or wait until you get out.
That is also exactly the same in the Crystal Palace in Walt Disney World as well. That's also, in fact, it's probably bigger. And again, that still has the same toilet.
Yeah.
Still has one toilet.
So that's just a handy hint there about the toilet. So, but anyway, yeah. So theming and setting, it's very pleasant. It's very nice. It gets very noisy and very busy. So I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4.
You give it a 4?
I'll give it a 4, yeah.
Right.
I think it's really nice in there, but obviously it's got its drawbacks.
So, choice of food. Now, choice of food, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. It's pretty standard by all-you-can-eat buffet standards. I don't know what to say. It does a bit of everything that you'd expect from a buffet. You've got the salad bits, the pasta bits, you've got the meats and the stews and the desserts. There's kind of everything, isn't there, really? There's
quite
a bit of everything.
Big selection there.
So it is pretty good as far as there is something there for everyone. I defy you to go in there and not find something. Even the fussiest of eaters would find something to eat in there. So I think that as far as choice of food goes, it's pretty good. So choice of food, I'd give it a 5 because there is something for everybody.
Yeah, 5.
Yep.
I found loads of things in there that I like.
Yeah, no, there's always something to eat. It's always, there is a wide variety of tastes. So I think that's... Oh, something I meant to say is that also you get your drink included in this one. But I can go on to that when I go to value for money, I suppose. Right. Next category is quality of food. I think it's been generally okay. It's not... It's a bit hit and miss, I'll be honest. It's a bit hit and miss. Sometimes we've been there and it's been really lovely. And sometimes I've had I had one time when I had the beef bourguignon or something like that, and I actually couldn't chew the meat. It was so gristly and awful.
I had a bad...
You had something bad there as well, didn't you?
Might have been a bad beef experience, possibly.
Bad beef experience. Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
So sometimes they are a bit lax on filling up the dishes, and sometimes the dishes look a little bit dried out. But generally speaking, it's okay. It is really hit and miss. It's really hit and miss. We have eaten there an awful lot of times, and we've had some really good experiences and some really bad experiences. Sadly, the last couple we've had been bad experiences. And I'm going to insert, if I can find it, we did on one of our blogs one summer when it was extremely hot. And we found they just didn't cope in there, did they? The aircon wasn't working.
Well, I'm not even sure.
We're not sure
I'm not sure it's actually got aircon in this one.
No.
Which isn't good on a really hot day.
Yeah, we'd been in there and it was summer. They weren't coping too well, were they? And things were. But what I'll try and do is I'll try and run the clip, and we'll sort of pause what we're saying now, and I'll try and insert it here, so you can see what we actually said on our vlog way back. For that
after
bit.
We came out of the restaurant.
Yeah, just after this. Because obviously now we're...
one of the arcades.
We were indeed. I mean, we're now trying to remember what we ate and what we did, but that was actually of the moment what we actually thought. So we'll put that in now. So we've just come out of the Plaza Gardens, and here's our thoughts on it.
No, it wasn't that bad.
No. Very hot in there, very, very hot.
We've had quite a few moves in there in the past over the years. And we know it hasn't got aircon, but it's never really been a major issue. But
except for when we sat in the conservatory bit that time.
Well, yeah, that was a bit unbearable.
We sat there so we could watch the parade, and that was a really big mistake because it was just so hot.
But I think because it's been exceptionally hot today, it felt hotter in there than it did outside, and that was saying something. Which doesn't really make for pleasant eating atmosphere.
But it was extremely busy, extremely loud and noisy, and they seemed to have a bit of trouble keeping up with the food, didn't they?
Yeah, a lot of the what do we call them? Troughs, trays.
Pigs.
No, they don't serve it up in troughs. The food receptacles, stainless steel thingies, whatever they're called.
Anyway,
were a lot of them quite
empty.
Yeah, quite empty for quite a lot of the time.
Gary's so hot; he's having trouble with his words.
Yeah, they were. I think the staff were a bit too hot as well, and I think they were having trouble coping with keeping things refilled.
Yeah.
So they were all looking a bit depleted for most of the duration of the time we were in there anyway. So,
and also, one of our bugbears for there that we've always had is the fact that they seat hundreds of people in there. Hundreds.
Yeah, it must be.
And
it's got to be over 500, I thought, easy.
and they only have 2 toilets in each, like for men and women, like 2 in each actual toilets.
Well,
so
that's one each.
Yeah.
There's just one in the male toilet and one female toilet. And in the male toilet, in the men's toilets, there's 1 cubicle, 1 urinal, 1 sink, and 1 sort of pen, paper, dryer, dispenser type thing.
Yeah, and
for
in the
all,
ladies,
for all those people, and it
ladies,
is
there's 2
horrendous trying
cubicles.
to get into there.
2 cubicles, and it is absolutely tiny in there. They're sort of tiny cubicles, and you can only get like 2 people literally in there queuing, and everyone else has to stand outside the door. But for all those people, there's always a massive queue, and it's never that clean either, is it? I mean, you've just gone in and actually come out because the floor was filthy.
The floor was a bit wet,
Yeah.
to say the least. But
So our tip is, if you go in there, go to the toilet before you go, or wait till you come out. And if you come into the arcade area,
we're in one of the arcades now, which is adjacent to Plaza Gardens, and the toilets in there are massive. They're always clean.
Yeah.
And there's loads of them.
Yeah.
So I know it sounds a bit crazy, but make things a lot more
so Plaza Gardens,
comfortable if you get that out of the way first before you go in there.
Plaza Gardens is, for those of you who've been to Florida, it's kind of based on the Crystal Palace, but you don't get the characters at the Plaza Gardens, except for if you do breakfast. They now do a character breakfast, which they didn't do when we first started coming. They do a character breakfast now, but you actually get to sit down and eat without characters. That's the difference. Whereas obviously Crystal Palace in Florida, you get Winnie the Pooh and friends like Tigger, Piglet, Eeyore, which we love.
Some of the people in there were characters, but of a different sort. No, it wasn't that bad, really. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It was just. I think it's really hot at the moment, and I've never felt so hot in there before. I suppose other times we've been here, it's probably been different times of year. It's not been as hot. This is quite exceptional at the moment everywhere.
Yeah.
And it was just unbearable.
It was just a bit lacking
and
today.
I don't think the staff are really coping with the amount of people that are in there either.
No, it was just a bit lacking. It's €34.99 each. You get 1 drink with that, and obviously then it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. But it was just a little bit. It's not the best value today, I don't feel.
No, I think out of all the times we've been in it, maybe apart from one many years ago, but it's been pretty good since then, to be honest. I mean, it seems to be up there going quite a lot. Food was good. It's quite a nice atmosphere. It's nice and clean. But
and your beef.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, beef and vegetables.
Gary had a beef bourguignon type thing.
I've had that before, and it was really nice. But this time it was, it was like chewing someone's old shoe.
All of it.
Probably worse actually. I tried a few bits of it, and it was quite consistent throughout the whole lot. It was just really chewy. So I left that.
Yeah, no, it wasn't great today, I have to say, but just bear that in mind if you decide to go there. So
pick a cool day.
Yeah.
If you can. I wouldn't go in there when it's really hot, because it's be even hotter.
Okay, so obviously you've listened to that. So quality of food. I'm going to give it a 3. 3.5. 3.5.
Yeah, probably the same. Yeah, 3, maybe 3.5. Edging on 4. Couple of not so good visits, but I think I think it's been more good visits than bad visits.
What we are reviewing now is the main lunch and dinner buffet. Okay.
It's probably cool again.
It's all right. I just went wrong. I just got my words mixed up. That's why he's doing that. So this is to do with the main lunch and dinner. We are going to do another video on the buffet breakfast, which is a character breakfast, which we did recently. We did last year. So we want to do that in a separate one because that's a completely different experience. Obviously, lunch and dinner is not character dining. It's just an all-you-can-eat buffet. The breakfast is slightly different because it's a character breakfast. So we are going to do that as another part of this vlog, but coming soon, if that makes sense. So, value for money. that's the next category. So we paid last time we went, and I'm not sure if it's gone up or not, but it was €34.99 for an adult, and it's $17.99 for a child. That does include a drink. So it's on the dining plan, it is classed as standard dining. So when they do the free dining plan, and you get this one, this is one of yours that you get in that plan, and as far as we're concerned, it's one of the ones that you get most value from, really, on that standard plan.
I think so, yeah.
Because there's something for everyone to eat, and you can eat all you want, and you don't obviously have to have any money to it. It's, right, they're sniffing away.
Yeah, hay fever.
So you don't have to add any money to it. It's a standard plan, so I think you can get quite a good meal out of that. And I think, to be honest, as far as Disney parks go, $34.99 with your drink, all you can eat, is pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
So,
it is really. It's not a fortune, is it really?
As I say, if you get a good experience. So as you can see from the bit of footage we've just put in, we didn't have a good experience that day.
But as we said in that clip, I think that was just sort of culmination of loads of different things.
Yeah.
It was a ridiculously hot day.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they were a little bit understaffed in there.
We have had situations when we were with the girls, though, before that, going back a few years, where we weren't given cutlery at the table, and there wasn't any more cutlery up to get any extra, and the plates weren't getting cleared, and all the tables were being left, and the drinks didn't come until about half an hour after we'd been there, and so there's often service issues there.
I think occasionally for whatever reason they seem to understaff it.
Yeah.
And it's such a big restaurant. There's so much going on in it. If they understaff it, all credit to the ones that work here, but they just can't.
They can't cope.
You physically can't cope with it.
No.
You can only be in one place.
And it is always busy in there. It is always full up. There's always a queue.
Always.
Yeah. So.
Bloody nice apple pie though.
Yes. So, value for money. If you get a good day, I'd say 4.5 stars. If you get a bad day, 3.5. So I'll average that out and say 4.
Yeah, I'll give it 4 for value for money.
Yeah. I mean, if you get a good day, it's probably a 5-star actually, because there's everything there to eat. But I just no. I think I'll average mine at 4.
Me personally, I would, if we went in there again, I'd try and aim to go in there on a cool day, or if you was there out of season, if you was there like sort of spring, autumn, winter, you're not going to have a problem. But it's worth seriously thinking about if you're there during the summer and it does get really hot there, because that could be quite uncomfortable. I don't find it very comfortable eating when I'm really hot. Can't relax.
And because it holds so many people, it gets very noisy and very, very hot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And the tables are quite close, so although
it's just,
that will probably change now.
I'm pretty sure that hasn't got aircon in it, which is a bit ridiculous really on a place. So that's sort of.
So service where applicable. Now I know it's a buffet and you serve yourself, but obviously they bring your drinks and they come and clear your plates, and it is lacking a bit there. As I say, we've had a couple of occasions where we've waited quite some time for our drinks, where we've actually started piling plates up on other tables that are empty, that haven't been cleared yet, because nobody clears our table. But it depends on what you want to put up with. So service, again, I think I'd give it a 3 on average.
Yeah. I don't think it's a staff's fault. I think it's whoever's managing it. It's obviously a problem with them, really. It's a big, busy restaurant, and occasionally it just gets grossly understaffed and they can't cope. And the last thing you want is to be sitting next to a table that's full of rotting food from a previous guest.
Yeah, especially when there's quite a few. We had one occasion where there was quite a few flies in there, and they were buzzing around the table. It really wasn't pleasant. So now you're talking about all this and bringing that up, I'm thinking I'm taking it down to 2.5. What are you going to give it?
3.5, maybe. Yeah, about 3.5.
3.5, right.
Sort of balance it out a little bit.
Okay. Would we eat there again? Yes or no? We have eaten there for breakfast. far as buffet, at a push, then yeah, I'd go back, but there are other restaurants I'd go to first. Some of the others we've already covered would be our go-to before, I was nearly said Crystal Palace, before Plaza Gardens. Do it in the winter, maybe, as you've said.
Yeah, I'd definitely go there.
But not
again.
in the summer. Would not do it in the summer.
No, I think it's really good. It's good value for money, but I wouldn't go anywhere near the place if it was hot, because it's even hotter in there. I mean, you tend to find that most places, even if they haven't got it, or the aircon's not that great, it's normally a few degrees cooler inside. But that was hotter in there than it was outside.
Yeah.
And it was just unbearable, really unbearable.
So for me, yes, I would go back there, but I wouldn't rush back there. I'd go back there if I couldn't get into other favourite ones first. Or maybe, you know, give it another go just to see how it is, but it wouldn't be my first choice to go back to.
No, I'd go back, but I think I'd be guided by the weather and the time of year. I just wouldn't go in there in the middle of summer, it's just too hot.
So, there you go, that is Plaza Gardens. And again, as we say each time, these are just our thoughts, our opinions from our experience of what we've done there. And this is just to give you a slight overview of what's going on there and how it is. We are going to continue with Plaza Gardens next time, and that will be the character breakfast. That's all that food he's eating. Yeah, we'll continue with the Plaza Gardens character breakfast, which is a completely different concept entirely. So we will leave it there for now. As usual, please give us the thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We are hoping to bring you many more of these to all the places that we've eaten, and maybe some we haven't, that we are going to speak to friends about and find out their thoughts on it. But yeah, we hope to bring you lots of these. As we say, going forward, we don't know what's going to happen with Disneyland Paris, with obviously the COVID situation as it is. I know they've had to change an awful lot of how they do things. A lot of the restaurants aren't open at the moment. But this is under normal circumstances, and hopefully one day, fingers crossed, we can all return to normal circumstances, and this will then give you an overview of what to expect, so you can make your choices. Anyway, thank you for watching. Be kind to each other, stay safe, and we will see you very soon for Plaza Gardens Carriage Breakfast.
See you for dinner.
I'm hungry now, actually. These always make me hungry doing these. See you soon, guys. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.